Hi everybody, today we're going to have a look at how to make a Choropleth map using your own data in ArcGIS Online. So I've already gone ahead and added my own data. As you can see here, I have a layer for total alcohol consumption per capita. And this data was actually downloaded by the World Health Organization as part of a hazards lesson plan. So I've already gone and uploaded this layer to my map. Now I did that by going to the add layer from file, choosing my CSV Excel spreadsheet and basically just working through the steps to get it uploaded. I've got those steps in another video if you need help with that. So once I've got it uploaded, as we can see here, I've got red dots in every single country that this alcohol consumption data was taken from. And as you can see, it's pretty much the entire world. So each country has got a dot on it. So it's data from the entire world. Now what I need to do is actually change it so that it's connected with a boundary style layer to act as the walls to hold in the data of each country. So what I need to do with that is, if you think of it like a house, I have the walls on the outside, which are keeping the data inside. And then I've got my things on the inside, my decoration, shall we say, which is going to be your styling, okay? So I'll explain what I mean by that as we work through it. But the first thing that I need to do is go over to this add button right here and go browse layer. I need to make sure my drop down is in ArcGIS Online. And I'm going to search world boundaries. Okay, so if you are doing a more localized data set, you could search Australia states, Queensland suburbs, Victoria suburbs, whatever it might be, local LGAs. You can search whatever kind of boundary you need. But because my data is from the world, I'm doing world countries. Okay. So I've just selected this world countries generalized layer from Esri. I'm going to go ahead and just close all these tabs so that we can see the map a little bit better. And if I zoom in, you can see that my orange layer is actually on every single country in the world, just like my alcohol consumption dots. Okay. If I go over to my layers tab on the left-hand side, I can see my two different layers. I can also drag this layer to the top so that we can see all the different points on top of them. Now, we're going to make a Choropleth with this data. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually merge these red dot points with the boundary layers behind him, okay? And the way that we need to do that is by using an analysis function in ArcGIS Online. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually turn the visibility of both of these layers off, just so that we don't get confused when the new layer is formed, because every time you do an analysis in ArcGIS Online, a new layer will be formed. I'm going to go over to the analysis tab. So it's this little button down here near the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and press that. Now it comes up with a choice menu here, and I've got some tools, I've got raster functions, I've got all kinds of things. Now, when you're not using spatial data, so when you're not using drone footage or anything like that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be using this tools section right here. Once you get into this section, you can see we've got quite a few different options here. I have a lot of resources on all the different options of ArcGIS Online's analysis tools. So please have a look at those resources if you want to see what other things do. But today we're going to have a look at this summarize data, join features option. Okay, so we are joining together those two layers that we had, our data layer and our boundaries layer. So I'm going to go ahead and go join features. Now, it's going to bring up this panel here, and we need to fill out the correct options for this to work properly. So my target layer, think of it like those walls. You need the walls first before you fill it with stuff, right? So I'm going to choose my world countries, like boundaries layer, as my target layer. My joining layer is the pretty stuff that's going to go on the walls, right? So the data that's going onto the boundary, which is, in my case, is my total alcohol. Okay, I'm going to go down. Now you can see here I've got some options. Now 9 times out of 10 it will be use spatial relationship, because we're trying to create that spatial intersects relationship. We want our data to intersect with the boundary data and merge together. Okay. The majority of these you can actually keep keep the same. This join 1-to-1, obviously we're joining, Nigeria to Nigeria, Australia to Australia, Indonesia to Indonesia. If we wanted to join many different things to Australia, then we would choose join one to many, but we want to do 1-to-1, so we're going to leave it on that. And the other thing that I need to do is give my new layer that it's going to produce a title. I'm just going to call mine that. And then if you're like me and you like organization, you can pick a folder for it to be saved into as well and go ahead and run the analysis. Now this could take up to a couple of minutes depending on how big your data set is. But if you click on the little history clock on the right hand side at the top there, you can actually see that it is running. If I go ahead and open the layers tab on the right hand side here, I'll be able to see when the layer is about to become available because it will appear, disappear, and then reappear again. And there we go. So you can see here on the left hand side on my layers panel, I've got my new layer example that I created. I can turn it on and off. And on the right hand side here, I've got the properties panel that's opened as well. So we can see that we've got a Choropleth map currently for all the different areas. And all I need to do now is change the styling of that Choropleth map. So I'm going to go ahead and go on this styles tab on the right hand side here. And it's currently showing me the location of where all the data has been collected. So I simply need to choose the attribute that I want to see, which in my case is total alcohol consumption. And there you see, it's now created a Choropleth map. Now, I'm not very keen on this blue because I think it blends in with the ocean too much. So I could either change my base map or I can change the colors. So I'm going to go on this style options here, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a different color. That one might be nice. Okay, go okay, done, and click done if you're happy with it. There's a lot of things that you can do from here, but I'm just going to leave mine the way that it is. And if we have a look at the legend now, you can see my layers and my total alcohol consumption in a ombre effect legend. And that's how you make a Choropleth map.